All right, want to figure out just how your workouts and blood sugar are connected. Well, today we're going to deep dive into this article from the American Diabetes Association. It's called Understanding Blood Glucose and Exercise.
Should be interesting.
Yeah, and while it is written for folks with diabetes, what we're going to uncover is relevant for, well, pretty much anyone, I think, who cares about fitness and health, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
So by the end of this deep dive, you'll have a better sense of how to, really fine-tune your workouts to keep your blood sugar in check.
Yeah, exactly. Giving you the tools to really take charge.
Love it. Okay, so the article starts off by explaining how exercise can actually lower your blood glucose. And it talks about two main ways it does this.
Okay.
First one is increased insulin sensitivity. What's going on there?
Well, basically, when you exercise, your muscle cells get a lot better at using insulin.
Hmm.
It's amazing. Our bodies are so adaptive. Exercise is almost like you're upgrading the locks on your cells,
Yeah.
making them work smoother with the insulin key. And that helps the glucose get into your cells better, which then, of course, leads to lower blood sugar.
So my muscles are getting a workout and a cellular upgrade. I like it.
Exactly. 2-for-1 deal.
Right. Oh, okay. But it gets even more interesting. The article also mentions that contracting muscles can actually take in glucose even without insulin being there. Wait, really?
Yeah.
So there's like a secret passage, a back door for the glucose to get into my muscles during a workout? I mean, how does that even work?
It's pretty remarkable, right? So when your muscles contract, during exercise, obviously they need energy, right?
Yeah, of course.
That demand, that need for fuel, it actually triggers this process where the glucose can kind of bypass the usual insulin pathway and go straight into the muscle cells.
Wow.
It's like your body has this backup system just to make sure those muscles get the fuel they need right when they need it.
That's pretty incredible. Our bodies are so much smarter than we realize.
Definitely.
But hold on. So if exercise is lowering my blood sugar, does that mean I need to be like constantly checking it during a workout?
That's a good question. Constantly checking, probably not necessary for most people.
Okay.
But frequently monitoring your glucose, especially, before and after you exercise, that's super valuable, especially if you're on, say, insulin or meds that increase insulin.
Hmm.
It's kind of like, think of it like checking your fuel gauge.
Okay.
It helps you see your own patterns and prevents your blood sugar from going too high or too low.
Yeah, that makes sense. And, this is especially key for anyone listening who is taking insulin or those medications that increase insulin production, because those can really make your blood sugar drop during exercise.
Exactly.
So understanding how you respond is super crucial. But speaking of low blood sugar, the article brought up something called hypoglycemia, which is when your blood sugar gets dangerously low. And it mentioned exercise can be a trigger for that, which, I don't know, kind of seems counterintuitive, right?
Right. Yeah, it might seem surprising at first, but it makes sense when you think about how exercise and insulin work together, especially if you're using insulin or, those insulin stimulating meds. Your body's getting that extra help to move the glucose into the cells, right?
Mm.
Then you add exercise on top of that, your muscles become really good at using that glucose.
Yeah.
And if you haven't, say, adjusted your insulin dose or eaten enough carbs beforehand, that can cause a pretty rapid drop in blood sugar.
Okay.
This is particularly important to keep in mind if you tend to, skip meals or if you're doing those really long or strenuous workouts.
Gotcha. Okay, so we've talked about the risks, but let's not lose sight of the incredible benefits of exercise. It's not just about avoiding those lows. It's about, well, overall health.
Of course, yeah. Regular exercise has tons of benefits. It boosts your mood, sharpens your mind, strengthens your heart, more energy. And for blood sugar management, it really is like a superpower.
It is.
Helps lower it during and after your workout, and over time, it can improve your A1C, which is that measure of your average blood sugar over a few months.
So it seems like finding that sweet spot, between getting the most out of exercise and managing blood sugar safely comes down to understanding how your body reacts and planning. Right.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where the article's focus on self-monitoring and individualizing comes in. Think of it this way. A short walk, that might just need a small tweak to your blood sugar routine, but an intense HIIT session, that might need some more careful planning with your meals and medication.
Okay.
It's about listening to your body and figuring out what works best for you.
That makes sense. Okay, so it sounds like exercise is this awesome tool for blood sugar, but it comes with a little bit of a, I don't know, learning curve. Like we got to really pay attention to how our bodies react, make some tweaks along the way.
Yeah, definitely. It's about being in the driver's seat, having the knowledge to make smart decisions about your health.
I like that. And speaking of knowledge, The article talked about how to deal with hypoglycemia if it does happen.
Right.
It mentioned something called the 15-15 rule, which sounds pretty handy. Could you break that down for us?
Sure, the 15-15 rule is a really simple but effective way to treat low blood sugar.
Okay.
So the first 15 refers to grams of fast-acting carbohydrates.
Okay.
So if you check your blood sugar and it's below 70 milligdl, you want to have 15 grams of, say, glucose tablets
Okay.
or glucose gel, even a sugary drink like juice could work.
Gotcha. Makes sense. Get that sugar in there fast.
Exactly. And the second 15, that's minutes.
Okay.
After you've had those 15 grams of carbs, you wait 15 minutes, then you recheck your blood sugar.
Okay.
If it's still below 70, you repeat the process, another 15 grams.
So it's kind of like a little feedback loop. You keep checking, adjusting till you're back in a safe range.
Exactly, yeah, a structured way to handle low blood sugar safely.
And the article mentioned, too, talking to your doctor about adjusting your medication or maybe having some pre-workout snacks, especially for longer workouts, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, being prepared and knowing your body is key.
Yeah, especially those longer ones. Got to fuel up properly.
Absolutely. That open communication with your doctor is so important, especially if you're managing diabetes or anything else that affects your blood sugar.
Hmm.
They can give you personalized advice, help you make a plan that supports your fitness and overall health.
Yeah, no one-size-fits-all approach here.
Definitely not.
Now, I know we've been focusing on the potential, downsides, the risks with exercise and blood sugar, but I don't want anyone listening to think exercise is a bad thing.
No, not at all. It's crucial to remember the benefits outweigh the risks big time, especially when you have the know-how to do it safely.
Absolutely. Knowledge is power, for sure. So if anyone's feeling a little overwhelmed by all this, what's the one thing you want them to take away?
I think the biggest takeaway is exercise is an amazing gift you can give yourself, right?
Hmm.
Improved your health in so many ways. It can be a powerful tool for managing your blood sugar, but like any powerful tool, gotta learn to use it, right?
Makes sense.
Pay attention to your body, monitor your blood sugar, talk to your doctor. They're there to help you on your journey.
I love that. So before we wrap up, anything else from the article that really stood out to you?
You know, what really struck me was how much it emphasized individual responses.
Hmm.
Like, there's no one size fits all, right?
Right.
What works for one person might not work for another, and that's what makes this whole thing so interesting. It's all about discovery, experimenting, finding what works for you.
Yeah, becoming your own health detective.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure. And that actually leads perfectly into the final thought I wanted to share from the article.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about asking ourselves, like, what unique patterns will you discover about how your body reacts to exercise and blood glucose?
Oh, that's good. That really gets people thinking.
Right. It's going beyond those general rules and getting specific, like what makes your blood sugar spike?
Yeah.
What keeps it stable? When do you feel your best? It's those little personalized insights that can make all the difference.
Yeah, you might even uncover something totally new, like a specific workout that just works wonders for your blood sugar or a new trick to prevent those dips.
Exactly. It's like we've given our listeners this treasure map, and now it's up to them to find the buried treasure, that metabolic health.
Love that analogy. It really is all about exploring, trying things out.
Totally. Well, I think we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive. We looked at how exercise affects blood glucose, talked about monitoring, individual responses, even dove into hypoglycemia and how to handle it.
Yeah, we did. Hope our listeners are feeling a bit more empowered to, approach their workouts with more knowledge and awareness.
For sure. And remember, it's all about finding what works best for you.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And hey, don't forget to have fun along the way. Exercise shouldn't be a chore. It should be something you enjoy, right?
Totally agree. Find activities you love, listen to your body, and keep exploring that connection between movement and your metabolic health.
That's the perfect way to wrap things up. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into blood glucose and exercise.